So the title of the article is called The Explosion. And he starts by saying, we spend too much of our worrying time on crises. Media is filled with warnings, coverage, and fear of cataclysms. The big boom, the sudden end, the crash. We pay attention to those things. The big, scary monster that may or may not be coming, right? His next line is great. And it's true. In fact, rot is far more common. Things decay unless we persistently work to support them. Organizations, reputations, systems, health, your investments, they all rot unless you persistently work to support them. Hey, even your teeth. For every hockey player who lost a tooth in a game, there are 1 million people who lost one over time. Yet we pay attention to the one tooth lost in a hockey game and not so much on the rot that happens millions times more over time. And he ends just succinctly by closing it with fear the rot. The explosions are merely a distraction. How many times have you heard the phrase penny wise and pound foolish? I work with organizations who have lots of reach, lots of impact, or the potential for lots of impact. And sometimes the thing standing in their way of success, and this is for organizations, large and small, it's paying attention or fearing the explosion and not the rot. I love this. This comes up. I mean, since I read this, it's sort of putting words to what I know. And you know this. As soon as you look at this, you're like, yeah. This comes up a couple times in my life. Often. And I've just used this and just straight up read it to people and been like, in this situation, I feel like are you focusing on the explosion or the rot? And people are like, I don't know what you mean. I read this and they say, ooh, it sort of puts it in a great perspective, which is another reason why I love Seth Godin. So I thought this was really cool. I wanted to share this with you. Shoot, I think I just wanted to read it again because I got so much from it. I just love the way he thinks. And I think this is true for a lot of things in terms of what we spend our time worrying on, what we pay attention to worrying on. We're paying and spending our time, which we've talked about being our most valuable asset. And yet, I mean, we have to agree that this is true. If you don't agree, then everything I'm talking about doesn't make sense. But to me, focusing on the explosion, which happens all the time, preventing that thing that probably isn't going to happen, and ignoring the thing that we could do in terms of rot. Penny wise, pound foolish. So anyway, that was something I wanted to share with you today, which I thought brought value. I'll send that via email if you're in our email list. I usually only send really, really valuable things. I don't like sharing lots of different things on email unless they're valuable.